is definitely one of the most prominent maps that we see Jet on. I can bring up the stats right now, but let's see. Let's take a look right quick. Jet, Haven, it's like 82%. That's the biggest number on the screen for Jet. Like Bind and Ascent, not very popular on those maps. Split maybe a bit less at 72, but this is the one that really lets Jet shine because there's so many things you can do. There's so many like vertical angles you can take, like on C. You have obviously you can boost someone on the mid box, but as well if you don't have that capability, like if you don't have another player there with you, you can just let Wardell just dash on top of it and be up there and have a different angle for his op for one clicking.
Yeah, absolutely. And as if we haven't mentioned it already, it's going to be TSM up on that defense to start the Oxygen. Going to be on the attack here as we head into this first round of pistol round start.
Well, it's already starting out. Well, looks like some of my predictions from the start of the game might be coming true. Wardell literally just rushing up C-Long with his teammate on the Phoenix. I can't even tell that's not Drone, because Drone isn't actually playing the Phoenix. Hazed with a kill onto Jerk with a Molotov. Galavant has a trade, but Drone strikes back on that Sova. That's not something we see him on very often, but like let's be honest, it really doesn't matter what he's playing. He can do work on any agent because this man is really good with his clicks, right? Clicks, but Subroza gets thrown back one of his own, a headshot from DSK, and now Cutler with his teammate inside of B. They're splitting up. It looks like Cutler wants to show some attention to A. Yeah, the attack really, they don't know really what to do right now. They're kind of lost. Working back towards that C, but Drone has already had this read because there's been no attention to mid for quite a long time. He's going to be the only source of defense here, but if there's anyone to do it all alone, it might be this man.
Yeah, we're going to see here as the squad's pushing up from the side of Oxygen Supremacy. They're going to be rotating in there, and the Sova, continually keeping eyes towards that spawn as well. However, it's given the opportunity for Oxygen to really get in there, and now KP holding this angle, be pushing in, gets the kill on the drone. The spike has been planted.
Bit of a mistake there. I have to mention Drone peeking out with that Sova dart. Of course, he wasn't going to expect the player so close, but that gives up his life. DSK, he's feeling it. He wants to go for more. Another headshot into Haze. Instant trade from Cutler, though. And now 1 versus 1, but he doesn't read the position of the last player. And a free headshot for KP, making TSM go down 0-1 in the first pistol.
Yeah, Oxygen Supremacy now going to be leaning in a pretty dominant position. I say dominant, but advantageous position, probably the better word to use for it. Going to be up in that economy, going to be feeling themselves a little bit. You take the first the first round off TSM, you're always feeling good after that.
Yeah, definitely. But this is where this kind of thing could play into this game, right? TSM, they're surprisingly to me, I guess they're not going to buy up. They're going to respect the side of Oxygen, and they're not going to force up. They're not going to just be like, okay, we're probably better than you guys, so we'll just buy anyways and hope we win the second round. They're going to respect it. They're going to save one and have some of those shorties in these close range angles. Subroza not going to have one of those in short, to be kind of surprising, but I'm pretty sure Wardell is one of those agents sporting that weapon. And look at this mid aggression too. They're sending their Brimstone out towards the B window, and he might have a good timing on the opposing Brim. Galavant with the first kill and a Cutler, though, and it looks like they want to clear Subroza out of this angle.
Yeah, Subroza is showing some incredible patience, some incredible nerves. They're not getting shaken up by the penetrating shots coming through, and now the Brimstone's kind of trying to trade shots here at the attackers spawn. Not really going to net too much for either end, but Subroza continuing to push up, gets that kill on Galavant, and now at a 1v1 situation, but Wardell pushing forward with the shorty, getting in the face of them with that jet, although numbers still not looking great for the side of TSM.
Last alive. Oh, he's even been found out on the other side of the map, so they know he's probably just saving this one rifle that they brought into this round. They're gonna hunt him. They don't want to let him live. KP's gonna work all the way through spawn. 1 versus 3 is obviously no way he can win the round, but let's see how much damage he can really do. Oh, a few missed shots. Okay, he follows up on it.
Yeah, it's now a 2v1 type scenario, and attackers are going to win. The bomb goes off, but they continue to try to chase down their opponent in Wardell, and that's got to speak a little bit to the mentality of Oxygen here, Golden.
That's true. I'm surprised. These guys, I like their playstyle so far. They are confident. They're not going into this scared, which is I think one of the most important parts of playing a game like this with this kind of pressure on you, because there's something. I think that's something that can be said when an underdog goes into one of these scenarios. It's kind of like the Astralis syndrome, right? You go into this game, if you already have the mentality that these guys are like god tier players and we have a slim chance of winning, that'll play into the fact that they might be playing scared. They might be playing not like they usually could if they were playing someone else that just happens to be smaller. And these guys, O2, they aren't doing that, which is important. They're playing just as confident as they are usually, and that's what they need if they want to be able to beat this TSM team.
Certainly, and Wardell on this op gets revealed out. Almost comes through from the side of Oxygen, but they're able to mitigate those lines of sight for the brief moment. Now we see them pushing through this garage. Jerk leading the way with that Phoenix. Might be ready to throw in the curveball. In fact, we see it, the flash on the drone. Drone taken down, the wall coming up from the Sage. A good isolation.
Yeah, this is a really nice beast split coming through. I really like seeing this. Wardell, he's trapped in garage, but his teammate is actually completely isolated from him unless they break this wall. They're gonna have 2 splitting in from the garage side and 3, it seems like, from the right side of A. But Wardell with 2 picks, of course, it's this man to get all the op kills. Subroza following up as well, and that's a spike down. This is gonna be hard for the attack of O2 to remain in this 2 versus 4 for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, the fire has been lit on the side of TSM, and fire tends to choke out Oxygen, but they managed to strike back, taking down Wardell.
Spike.
So, certainly not out of the game yet. They managed to retrieve a spike, but as soon as that Cypher Cage drops, defenders clean up house, and with that, they're going to be getting their first point on the board.
Man, I had so much faith in Oxygen there. That was a really nice B split. You don't really see that very often. I think the only place I've ever heard of that kind of strat happening is like week 1, like literally week 1 of the beta of this game coming out. I remember Shangers, DDK, they talked about this strat they did in like some small tournament, and they ran through garage. And usually when you go through garage, you split C, right? You come from long C, you come from garage, but instead they did what the O2 just did. They split B instead from mid and back garage, and most people don't expect you to do that, so the B players are likely going to start rotating and just get caught in your guns. But there, Wardell literally just said, I am Wardell. I can make the difference. And he just got 2 off shots for free. And Subroza as well. What, again, like I mentioned, one of the best rifles in the game, making it happen at the front of sight. And what do you really do about that to answer?
Yeah, as we get moving into this next round, however, we're going to be seeing Subroza trying to use that run it back early on in this fight, gets slowed down, though, really mitigating the effect you can have with that ability. And now, and it looks like we're going to be seeing Oxygen Supremacy trying to push in through A, but it looks like the response coming in quick from TSM as they start to make the rotations in just that lone Cypher. Going to have to hold the point 4 now as they get the rest of their squad to group up with them. Cutler using the cams just to spot everything out.
Yeah, this is a slow short push. Everyone just grouped up. They're just waiting. And there's already 3 players here from TSM. This could be disastrous unless they get all these good entries. They made it onto the site practically for free. This wall is going to go down, but not before Cutler gets a kill right through it. So that's a good start for TSM.
Yeah, it certainly is a good start. We're seeing a little bit of the plant hesitance come through from Supremacy. They're looking like they don't want to take that time just yet. They want to secure the kills, but Wardell using the updraft and taking down DSK. Massive kill coming through there, and right into the face of Galavant, the body more accurately, but still doesn't get the 3rd kill. Jerk gonna take them down, but Jerk now feeling the pressure, 1 man on a mission. That mission gonna be a fail.
Oh, that is the kind of stuff that you can't start letting TSM do to you, because Wardell, you know, when he gets fired up, he's gonna try that all the time. Like, he's literally just gonna be like, I am the best in this server right now, and I will literally just dash in and shoot you. That's the point of him as Jet, cause all the chaos, and if he can get kills, it's just a bonus, because all his team can probably just follow up on all those dashes and trade him out if he happens to go down, but he's good enough to get those kills anyways, and he's like, there's nothing you can do really as Oxygen.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum player coming through there. You can't let him get fired up, as you said. As we look into this next round, we're going to be seeing if Oxygen going to be able to adapt here. Galavant going to be using those knives early on. Start, perhaps try to get some damage.
What? Okay, Jerk just runs in the garage and wallbangs Wardell, so that's the Opera gone. He literally runs into C, another headshot with a continuation spray. That's just run it back, so that's not even any health lost, but he might get cut by drone, and he does. So at least slightly equalized, not quite just yet, mainly because their Cypher is still on A, so they don't exactly believe this plant's going down just yet, but there it goes. So Drone, as well as his teammate, I think Subroza, the only quick response. One of them taken down, knives out, so still Bladestorm ready for that quick engage. But it looks like TSM are... Okay, now it might be time to call it off.
Yeah, it's just going to have to be that Cypher from TSM. They're probably not going to be getting too aggressive, not too anxious to push into that 4-man team. They may just hold their own, wait it back, and let that bomb explode, getting themselves the nice option to keep their rifle into the next round.
Yeah, O2 not even wanting to hunt. They are content with just taking the round, which is fair, because not every day you get to take a round off a TSM in a tournament like this, you know?
Yes. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, that entry by the Phoenix too, literally just no fear, running it all the way through. Like, I'm surprised he got the kill on the Wardell. I don't know if he saw him and he just got the kill while Wardell is trying to back off from the angle. But whatever the case, like, really good entry, allowing them into sight and just proving Jerk he can do the rifle work as well, right? He's the next Subroza, maybe. He's trying to make that name for himself.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw even Jerk push through, I believe it was a Molly. That damage over time coming through, still manages to win that fight. So absolutely crucial. They know, I mean, Jerk knows they're probably going to be safe because of that run it back, but still, you have to have the confidence in yourself. Galavant not necessarily having the confidence after Wardell lands that shot.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that he's going to start doing. Like, even if he goes down one round to a nice Phoenix ult, like, he's just going to challenge. And he goes for more. He misses a shot, though, and Jerk punishes. So that might be one of the reasons that Wardell might have a weakness in some of his eagle plays. But Subroza, following up on that, he's good enough to do the same thing as well. 2 headshots with that spray. That's not something that's that easy to do in this game. And now you can see how scared they are, just free-firing the garage over and over again. Another flash player, drone pushed up mid. There's so much control over this map right now for the side of TSM.
Yeah, there certainly is, and it's looking like the offense a little bit scattered here. Supremacy going to be using that curveball, flashing the drone, so drone has the idea, but doesn't get pushed up on, so gets saved for the moment. But the Brimstone caught out, been taken down early on. Drone not going to be making that a comfortable 4v2 situation. Subroza, that's the third for them this round. So far, so good for this Phoenix player.
Yeah, KP's is left all alone here. He was looking towards A, trying to make something happen, and his entire team just falls around him, and he gets taken from the back, I'm pretty sure. That's really unfortunate for the attack of O2, but yeah, Wardell, he's like, hello, I'm here. He doesn't want to play passive because he knows he got picked off last time by the Phoenix ult, so he's like, I'm just going to shoot you before you even have time to do anything in the round.
Yeah, I mean, you can only bring out that run it back oh so often, and even less so if you're getting put down at the beginning of rounds like that with that operator coming through. And now we are going to be seeing Oxygen and Supremacy bring out an off of their own. The question is, can Galavant find the value for it? That seems to be hinging.
We'll see what they can really do, because it is just the fact that I think right now they're kind of being out mechanic, I'm not going to lie. And it's scary, because maybe like enough of these rounds take place where you just get gunned, like Wardell peeking out a garage, or like getting that 2K inside of the B site after the spike had almost been planted. Enough of those stuff starts to happen, and then that's when they start getting scared, and that's what they can't have happen to them.
Yeah, certainly not as we look ahead. Just going a little bit slower from both of these teams, not allowing Wardell to get that value, which is perhaps the smart play coming through from Oxygen, but we'll see if they can manage to gather themselves and really move forward. They're going to get reconned out by drones, appropriately named drone. They have to take that line of sight loss because of that Cypher cage coming through. It does give time for TSM to rotate. Really not a lot of point pressure being put down yet, but that spike does sound like it's going down, will be planted. And now Oxygen have this point control. The question is, can TSM replay?
And look at that, Subroza just in it with that ultimate, flashing through, gonna clear the Hell player. Cypher has no chance, and the Heaven player to cover as well from all the other angles. This Jet still on site. He doesn't actually get cleared, but finally Wardell has the shot on him.
Yeah, I mean, it was taking it really for Oxygen to start, but just not able to quite have that follow through, and they allowed the side of TSM to really kind of get comfortable and allow TSM to dictate that fight, it felt. So really, TSM claiming it back from, oh, it was looking like a pretty dominant position from Oxygen.
Yeah, but playing that full retake too, that was pretty good. I like that from TSM, just waiting until all the teammates are here, the spikes planted, and they technically didn't even let them get set up in post plants. They had so much util on the defense still because there was no attention played. to like anywhere else on the map. So they're like, all right, if you guys are just gonna take a site, we'll take it right back with all our util that we still have. You saw the smokes on long, smoke on short. The players in sight are just trapped, and Subroza running in with that run it back as well. Great flash on the player in hell. He's completely isolated, and there's just no chance that those two players win their one-on-ones in the site.
Yeah, now we're seeing a little bit of conservation come out from the Oxygen team here. We're seeing that, you know, they're not going to be investing too heavily into rifles. So for the time being, it's looking like a pistol round. So they're going to probably try to get aggressive here, as we can see them going through that short on A. See if Cutler's able to spot them out in time, or if they'll go for the swing around. But the Phoenix there to back them up. So we'll see how this plays out.
This timing, they might have something really good on this, because there is one on flank. Good entry by Cutler. I don't know if he reads that play right there. That's a nice entry from KP as well. Distraction by the Jet, but they're all in the site again. The only problem with this is that this time there's a fast flank, and they have even worse guns to deal with. So this will be incredible if they can pull this round off.
Yeah, and Wardell does have those knives. Looking like he's getting ready for the updraft. Goes for it twice. Once again finds it. You can't let Wardell get away with it. Not this time around, folks. Maybe once. But as we see now, it's going to be Subroza trying to find that value with the rest of their team. Lee playing the lone Cypher eventually does call the Hazed, and with that, Defenders win another one, make it 5-3.
Yeah, it was impressive for them to get on the site, but I don't think there was too much of a chance for them to hold that. And really nice from Wardell. He did that twice.
Yeah.
See, I don't think that we've seen that kind of jet play come out from many teams past like the tournament that the devs played against like the streamer team, and then I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Penguin or Vulcan. I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure it was one of like the league devs. But he pulled out that jet strat where he jumped that wall with jet, and it didn't work for them because he just whiffed his shots. But you can see what happens when you have a player that can actually aim on the side of the jet, right? He just denies plant twice.
Well, as we look ahead, we're going to be going into our 9th round here. We're seeing now the side of Oxygen Supremacy kind of stack up once again. The aggression not necessarily paying off for them last round like they wanted it to, but we'll see. Stacking up on that garage, and they're being reserved about this. They're taking their time, and right now you have to be thinking that TSM knows A is probably not the options they're going to be going with. So we're going to see some wrap arounds, some positioning changes here. What else do we expect, Golden?
Ooh, I would say expect that to clear out someone from the garage position, but he actually throws the molly in the wrong corner, spotting from GSK, and yeah, because they didn't clear him, Subroza gets a kill, instantly traded, which is really good from him, but plant denied! That player's likely gonna go down, but just a slight miss from Joan. He at least gets some damage on the Sage, and the plant is still going to commence, but how long can they hold this for again with another post plant?
Yeah, we're seeing that it is difficult for the side of Oxygen to hold these points once they have them. Jerk bringing up that wall. Going to make it difficult for TSM to really push in here. But TSM stacked up like a sandwich. They're going to be ready to get in there. Get aggressive teams as a unit. Hazed taking down the first, and they find the second. No, it's going to be Jerk returning that call. Then responding to the checkerboard here. Cutler actually gets the wall bag coming in. Attackers managed to win this, and fourth line looking a little bit closer to even now.
Yeah, I'm seriously impressed by what O2 has been able to bring. That was another good site take. Maybe a bit of a blunder not clearing out Subroza from the garage, but the fact that they traded that literally immediately was really nice, and the fact that they were able to hold that too. Because there's been a lot of post plants. Like I'm pretty sure. Like look at the amount of plants. There's been 3 plants so far. That one was around. Okay, so we actually can't see the rounds that there were plants that also ended up in kills for the attack. But so we know there have been 4 plants. One of those have been a successful retake. I'm pretty sure every other one, they just died while they had site control. But O2 are getting on site surprisingly a lot of times. And it's really nice to be able to see this from a team that we might not have really expected to provide this much contention to TSM.
Yeah, TSM certainly not taking the easy route here today. But in terms of a routing, we are going to be seeing O2 take that angle towards C. They do lose one towards that midsection, but they're going to be backing off, allowing themselves to regroup, reconsider their options, but they're going to be playing right into the sightlines of this Sova if they're not careful.
And Sova on the drone. Oh, excuse me. Same thing, right? Yeah. The other way around. This man, that's not a guy that you just want to blind peek into. Dry peek, that's probably the worst idea in the world. And speaking of dry peeking, they literally just walk into Wardell, but thank goodness for them, there's enough of them to trade that kill instantly. So taking the best offer practically in the world and maybe off the board might be kind of important. Cutler as well, waiting on the sidelines. Finn gets a kill, but Drone trades it again inside of mid. So now another post plant, another one. There have been so many, and this one's to even up the scoreline. Jerk's back sight, not sure if he spotted the 2 players that's outside of garage, and he dinks one, but gets taken his head off.
Yeah, right now it's just a war of attrition for Supremacy. And they're having to play it back. They're having to just try to keep pressure on, deny a defuse, really play the clock if possible. But Drone taking it wide to DSK with the pistol kill right to the dome. And with that, defenders getting easy defuse and another point.
Yeah, it's a nice try by the Sage on O2, but I mean, nothing you can really do after you miss the first volley of shots. Like, maybe he gets lucky and he sprays through all 3 players to get the defuser, but at that point, it's like you don't have enough bullets and he just gets pushed. So it's really well played by TSM as well to aggro on that player after they know that he probably doesn't have the health or the ammo to finish off all 3.
Certainly tend to agree here. Scoreline still looking pretty tight. Not the closest game we've seen, but still in anybody's wheelhouse so far as we head into the 11th round. The lineup coming in quick on towards that A. Joint moving in. It's going to be the short route taken by most. Galavant pulling out those knives. We'll see if they can find anything with it. Trying to be a mini Wardell here.
That's kind of a cool thing that a Drone, I think, just did from B. He shot a dart right outside of A, spotted no one. He actually rotates off because he doesn't think too many are here. But unfortunately for them, they dash in a sight. Cutler does get a kill onto Galavant, so that's the ultimate already off the board, not doing much work. And Drone even gets a lineup onto DSK. That's a nice one. 3 versus 5 retake now for TSM.
Yeah, and offers keep hemorrhaging here. Big to get one, but it's not going to be enough. Another defuse, and just like that, suddenly 0-2. Looking a little bit worse than we saw them at the beginning of this round.
Yeah, they had another good entry onto A, just like their previous save, right? I think both their pistol rounds, they've run into A and just gotten spike plant. But, of course, it's hard to hold. Not everyone can be like Finn and just triple tap the guy in heaven. That's not an easy shot to hit, so well done by him. But yeah, they had pistols, so that's pretty much a lost round against a team of this caliber. Now, though, this is when they have the rifles back. I gotta admit, one of these showings on the Jet Galavant, you said he was trying to be the Wardell of their team. His scoreline is not exactly indicative of that attempt. It's not great when you have the Jet that's supposed to be providing so much impact to your team through, like, you can sight disruption and maybe just straight up kills with his ultimate. And him not doing that, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, you're certainly going to be missing out on the value from that Jet on the line. So we'll have to see if they shape up throughout the rest of this game. Maybe an area of improvement for the Oxygen squad. However, we see them right now having quite a few ultimates on line. We're going to be seeing that res, which, based on the war of attrition, Oxygen Supremacy kind of needs to lean on, it seems.
That's true. They got to hope that that stage doesn't go down first as well. But this setup is actually kind of interesting from the defense. I think they've swapped it up a tiny bit. Usually they run Cutler on A and leave, I think their Jet on C. Wardell's probably playing C most of the time, but they completely swapped it up this round. Their Cypher has his stuff inside of Garage as well as inside of C Long. Well, it might not matter, but it might indirectly, because the fact that they don't have a Cypher on C means that the attack can really start speeding this attack up. Jet instantly taken up by Hazed as soon as he jumps on top of the box. That's unfortunate. Galavant doesn't manage anywhere impact in this round other than taking out his counterpart, which is pretty good in of itself, I feel like. This retake, though, might not even start to happen because they have that ultimate. That res is going to get denied by Cutler again because he's got that angle from heaven. Subroza on the fast flank. He's going to go down the wrong angle, and he might get taken from behind. That's a nice one for DSK to be aware of that one.
Spike does go down, still going back towards the Cypher's getting one, but Drone getting the 2 with Jerk and Finn taken down. It is now a 2v1 scenario. DSK gets hit by the dart, takes down Drone, then they find the Cypher. No, they can't. The defuse comes through. 0-2 looking so much closer, but not quite good enough yet.
Yeah, that's so close. Literally mathematically 1 bullet off. Like, he hit the Vandal, right? And 0 damage drop off. He's at Cutler's at 30 health. That's 1 bullet. If he got another one out, then he wins that engagement, and that's a 7-5 half instead of an 8-4. That's a pretty hefty scoreline, especially when you're starting on attack, or excuse me, when you're starting on defense for TSM, because this is the one map in the map pool right now that's even slightly attacker sided. Like the other ones are just defense. Like it's like 40 something for attack. Like this one is like 53 for attack or something like that. So the fact that they're at this kind of deficit doesn't prove very well, especially because TSM do have some pretty special attacks.
We will have to find out. It may be a case of Oxygen just getting warmed up. Call me an optimist if you like, Golden, but we're heading into the round as you mentioned. Oh, well, we're still in the buy phase, but we're going to shortly be heading into the round here as those gates do drop. This is coming online, and we'll see exactly how these things are going to shake out for this first round.
Yeah, so look at what they've done. They've shown aggression towards C at the start. No smokes this time, which I actually kind of like, because usually I think last time I VOD reviewed these guys, their Subroza was on their Brimstone and, of course, Drone, their oh-so famous Phoenix. But this time, of course, they changed their lineup up. It looks like they've changed their strategy as well, because they run a lot of defaults towards A with their pistols. This time, full focus towards Garage and C long. 2 players sitting back there, and 3 towards Garage. They've already been kind of walled off towards C, so these guys are just trying to entry towards back of Garage. I don't entirely know what they're doing. Finn actually gets a nice headshot into Subroza with his Molotov out, and another one following up on a Wardell. Nice shots from Finn, and more from DSK. All the headshots right now going in favor of O2, and they take the second pistol of this map.
Yeah, so I think we're seeing O2 be a lot more confident, a lot more dominant when they have those pistols online, and when it's a little bit more of a fair fight at those short ranges and with the lesser firepower. But once we see that economy start to build up, TSM starts to really get ahead of themselves. Their motors start running, and they just barrel into Oxygen. So it's going to be curious to see if Oxygen kind of recognizes that, has a strategy to counteract that, and exactly what they do.
Time to mix things up.
Yeah, I gotta mention, I'm not entirely sure what TSM are doing in that round, so that might be kind of weird, but still have to point out, yeah, really good shots from the entirety of Oxygen Supremacy. Like, that's just clean headshots across the board. I don't think I saw a single body there, so everyone was tapping heads. That's really nice to see against a team like TSM, who we know is very, very talented mechanically.
Certainly, and now, as we talk about that mechanically talented TSM, I'm going to be seeing them line up to go B right towards the front. No garage entry as we saw on their opponent's B attack. And now they're taking a little bit slow. The smokes do come in, and that's pretty much going to be the go signal for them to flood onto point. Seems like quite a quick response coming in from Oxygen. They managed to take down Wardell, so this is a continuation of some hopefully good momentum for the side of Oxygen. Jerk holding down this smoke, gets one, doesn't manage to find the other. Subroza taking them down, picks up their weapon in exchange. And now things still looking good for Oxygen, but they have to retake.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking really good for Oxygen. Yeah. 1 man left, and it's Subroza. He might be good. Okay, he gets one through the smoke. Maybe a second. That's so close to Molly on the bomb, too. That might matter. I don't know. Okay, they do have time. He actually missed the Molotov just slightly. Hot hands, maybe not hot enough. Tiny bit cold. But yeah, both rounds following up for the defense of O2. Looking a lot better. I thought that was a bit weird that they ran the Cypher on A with his trips. Also on A, playing full B retake. But I mean, if it works, I guess. So it's really good showing from them.
Yeah, I'm sure that the side of Oxygen not going to be too concerned about what works. Well, more so not going to be too concerned about what's weird, just what gets the points. So, as we look ahead now, we're going to start to see it's looking like TSM still hurting a little bit in the cash department. They're going to go a little bit lighter this time around. And now, Oxygen here just trying to shake it up a little bit and see what they can find.
A little bit might be a bit of an understatement. Oh, KP kind of gets duped from this angle. Does he win the fight? He does. Gets the kill on a Subroza. Wardell with a trade onto one of his teammates as well. But that's yeah, this is an interesting round. Like you mentioned, the economy still not great for the defense, which is strange considering they won that previous round. And I'm pretty sure 3 of their players stayed alive as well. So I don't believe they had the right, or they should have the ability to buy rifles, but they don't. So 2 of them on judges, I'm guessing saving for ops, and the rest of them keeping those specters from the previous round. At least they get a 1-for-1 trade, which is really good. But still, especially on this map, that leaves a big hole on the defense somewhere on the map for TSM to find.
Yeah, the question will be, can they sniff it out? Drone's certainly going to be trying with the Owls of their own going out. Misses the pin, though. Yes, they're going to be taking it out. But Hazed finds Finn, and they may have just cracked this C push open. DSK trying to hold all on their lonesome, but that's going to be a tough ask for one Sage, and that Sage going to be put in the ground very quickly. Block off more lines of sight, but KP helping their team to strike back.
It's nice that Dirk got 1 kill, 2 versus 2. So this is actually pretty doable for both sides. I didn't actually realize it got that close, but yeah, nice job by the defensive O2 to get it so close. But yeah, Wardell with the op, looking down the entirety of C-Long. This is going to be really hard if there are no more smokes. Yeah, there's no wall for Dirk, so likely not going to just block off line of sight. If Cypher has cages, maybe there's a possibility, but with this op staring them down, there's not too much of a chance. But Wardell hits shots like that.
Yeah, there's what can you do in that situation? You have the bomb ticking right in front of your feet. Well, you know Wardell's probably holding that long angle and is likely going to hit the shot, especially if you have to stay stationary to defuse. Some excellent play coming out from the side of TSM. You just have to expect that goes in their favor. I don't think really once it gets to that point, there's much that O2 can do other than just some massive long-range kills.
Yeah, it's just like, you might get lucky and insta-dink him when you peek him, and that causes Crosshair to go wild, and that's the chance. But like other than that, like again, he's a dat too, so you can't even trade him after the first kill.
Well, we are looking at once again.
Oh no!
Tries to go for the shot, does not quite land.
Oh no!
This is not looking great for the side of O2 quite yet. We'll be down 2 on this defense here. Sure, trying to make a play for it, trying to push into that A site, as the rest of their team going to be looking to group up with them. The question is, what does TSM do here after they plant, and what angles are they?
Probably get some really nice just retake stuff. Yeah, you see Cutler. I think that's his. I'm pretty sure that's Cutler's camera right under heaven, which means that he has view on the end. Yeah, it is. He's viewing the whole site, so they literally cannot walk in without being spotted. And he's never going to tag anyone. He's literally just going to call to all his teammates. He's going to provide his teammates with wall hacks if they go for this retake, which they're not, which is smart. They're going to save these guns, have the best chance in the next round to win it. But I mean, okay, that I feel really bad for Galavant that we actually spectated both his whiff and the ego peak from the other guy down C-Long after he knows that the opera is still on that position, because that hurts. Like, it's actually painful in my heart to watch that happen.
Well, just land your shots next time, I suppose. But for now, the attacker's going to be taking it, and they're getting closer and closer to that finish line here, Golden, and it's starting to get a little bit dire for the Supremacy team.
Yeah. If you look at the scoreboard too, the worst player on TSM, Hazed, 8 and 9, compared to the best player on O2, they have the same kind of kill differential, -1 for both. Not the best scenes, but I mean, they got a bit left to go. TSM need 3 to win. That's a decent amount of room for O2 to make something work. We'll see what they have, something special in the defense maybe, and this might be the round, because a lot of A attention being paid to, or excuse me, from TSM to Oxygen Supremacy, and this double aggression up C-Long, they're not going to find anything. Subroza gets the first on a jerk on that A site, and they actually retreat back down C, which is maybe not the right choice, because they're getting entry all over the place on A. Hayes gets another pick, and now it's already a 3 versus 5, and it hasn't even been 30 seconds into this round.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing Subroza try to take that aggression with the walk it back, or run it back, rather, does end up expiring before they're able to find that station. Oh. Gets taken down by Wardell. The molly not even really necessary at that rate. And now the spike does get planted. It's just going to be the Jet and Brimstone. Finn back at that attacker's spawn. What are they going to try to do? Are they just hiding out? Are they going to wait for the side of TSM to leave? A lot of questions here. It's not looking optimistic, though, for the side of Oxygen.
Galavant, maybe an engagement at spawn. Cypher, no, he's just sitting pretty. Don't think he wants to leave towards defender spawn. Everyone grouped up around Garden as well, so maybe Finn gets some action at the end of the round, but everyone on the server, even wanting to save their weapons. Brim, not happy with us. Not entirely sure why, but he's making some faces.
Yeah, giving us the wink, if you will, knowing that this round's all in the bag for them. They get that detonation going on, and you know, it's gonna be a full 5 coming out from the side of TSM still alive. So they definitely have the optimism coming in. They still have the money, which as we start to see these later fights where Oxygen doesn't win rounds, they start to feel a little bit more and more choked throughout in terms of the monetary benefit or the monetary resource they have.
Yeah, I gotta admit, it's probably pretty hard to figure out what you do in this kind of scenario. Like, other than VOD review, 'cause you can't even do VOD review for this kind of game because TSM aren't running the same kind of structure that they've been running in a lot of other tournaments.
Yeah, we are seeing quite a few of those changes come out, but Jerk once again hitting it with the Phoenix, run it back, gonna be getting super aggressive here as you're inclined to do when you're the Phoenix. Subroza seeing them, but not taking the shot, so able to walk away perhaps with their life for either of those Phoenixes. But now that was a run it back for virtually nothing. We'll have to see as that Cypher for the defensive team getting perhaps a little bit aggressive, holding up very forward on a making for a potential collapse.
DSK looks to want to get aggressive. I'm curious how Hazed took so much damage at the start of the round. He's at 23, not even been healed by their... Oh, they have no Sage, excuse me. That's interesting from them on a Haven, because that's not one of the maps that you don't usually see Sage on. That's a like kind of one of those moments where you're like, okay, so here's how I got here. And you peek in a 4, Galavant, he hits a shot in a drone. That's a nice one, but yeah, Subroza working in from Garage, headshot machine. This guy for the NA region at least. Wardell with some more knives and a fin, and all of a sudden KP, last man remaining all the way on A, has to rotate all the way back. Not probably going to save. I think they have the money to continue. He actually gets a kill on a Wardell, so takes the off the body temporarily, but I don't really think that he can do this 1v3 with planted for long. A couple players already wrapping him, and Cypher just sitting pretty on site. Yeah, he looks like he just wants to save this operator for his Jet of Galavant next round.
Yeah, I mean, that is so unfortunate for the side of Oxygen. They get that big Sage wall coming up thinking, you know, we've blocked off most of the enemy team, but then you just see Subroza coming in from, I think it was Garage, cleaning up with the 2, allowing that point to be captured as soon as the wall's torn down. They get the plant, and here we are. So overall, unfortunate, but some solid plays coming through from TSM. They really have their heads on a swivel there, expecting, you know, even the most basic of cutoffs through that Sage.
Yeah, dude, this is actually really impressive from TSM, because before, when they've run this map against multitude of teams, they run a lot of A defaults, like a lot of A defaults in their attack. They send one Brim Smoke towards C long, and it's a really crappy Brim Smoke because it just sits in the middle of long. And it doesn't really do anything other than deny info that someone's walking up and maybe in the cubby, but you're never going to push through that smoke. So that's a really big tell from them that they just no longer have in this game. It literally just doesn't exist, which is crazy. They've completely switched it up, which is really nice, because that's something that's really easy to pick up from VOD review that they just don't do anymore. And not only that, they're not running the Sage. As I'm talking them up, though, Galavant, he actually hits a shot onto Hazed, so not going to whiff that twice in a row, which is really nice from them. Getting early man advantage, that's pretty important, and he's instantly going to rotate off C. That's a really good read, too, because they know that other than Hazed, that's the only lurker that they usually have on C. And this A hit going to come in, but the damage, let's see what can be done before the spike can even get planted.
Yeah, KP moving in right underneath that Heaven spot. Wardell up on, I believe it was some crates taking the shot with that operator. Galavant throwing in some knives, manages to find one onto Subroza. So right now the team is looking a little bit even. The spike does get planted, and now Oxygen needs to make a move here. The flash goes out. No real capitalization on it right now. However, Galavant continues to push forward, gets the 3rd with their knives. And now things are looking pretty good for Oxygen. They just need to clean up one member, but it is Wardell on that Jet. And the wall comes out. You know that Wardell's going to be behind that wall. You have to anticipate maybe the updrafts, but it's like Wardell instead going to be wrapping around while the diffuser.
Well, he gets a kill, so consolation applies to him. But yeah, that's a really nice retake from the defense. Is winning all the fights. I'm upset kind of that we didn't get to see that entry from the Sage, but we can tell what happened because the Jet just walked in with the ultimate after the person got flashed off of the graffiti position from that Phoenix up in heaven, and she just walked in. And I think Cutler probably lost his life to that. Nice knife work from Galavant at that point, and then the Sage trades off that kill after Galavant falls to the player on his right. So really nice double peek from them at the spawn, and then yeah, Wardell. He can do a lot, but that's asking a bit much to jump over a wall and hit that shot right as the defuse is going.
Certainly a big ask, but we've seen some impressive plays so far. But now Oxygen Supremacy, they have to keep up this momentum. They can't lose another one of these for quite a while, otherwise they get taken down. And now, no early kills coming through, but it looks like quite a stockpile of those ultimate abilities coming on Hunter's Fury. Going to be very advantageous for this attack team. Jerk initiates, or excuse me, KP gets the kill on the Subroza with Jerk helping them to initiate.
I know exactly.
That's some nice early aggression too. And the wall hacks coming out from Cypher. Now they're going to have some good info on where this hit is likely going to come from. And that's going to slow down the attack of TSM a heck of a lot. Going to completely cancel off A. Cutler doesn't even want to deal with this. Going to set the trip for that wide flank and then just leave everyone walking down mid. Galavant is going to have to hit the shot again. This is asking a lot, and he misses it. Instant dink from Cutler. That's a nice shot from him. And now this B take likely going to commence.
Yeah, just a little too wide there on that operator shot. Not quite able to land it, and now it's a 4v4 style scenario here. KP about to have to deal with the Brimstone, wins it against Hazed. So now suddenly Oxygen, a breath of life, very appropriate for the Oxygen squad. But Drone, having their head on the swiveliest of swivels, manages to get these kills. Wardell, the almost point blank shot from the op, has to take down DSK. DSK pretty much having to just push into this op. It's going to be a very tough position, given Wardell's mechanical skill. But the zoning comes back from Molly, making sure that Wardell can't take too aggressive. Jerk manages to win it here. The defuse just has to come through, and Oxygen has, again, that breath of life.
That's gotta feel good for Drake. A triple kill on the round to come back in that one. That looked all but lost. Like Drone, in, like you said, on his head on a swivel. Like there's no reason he should stay alive for that long. Even getting 2 in mid. He gets the first one in the window. There's a second player, I think, following up from that window position. And he's getting crossfired at a 90-degree angle. It's literally a right angle. He cannot see both players on the screen at the same time. And he gets the first guy from Garage. That's crazy. But really good trade from Drake. Coming up mid as well. And Wardell missing those off shots lets him get close. And at that point, he has no time to reload. He just has to switch weapons, and he can't do so in time before Drake gets the 3rd kill. So that's a really, really nice retake from him. 8-12 now, so 4 more rounds in a row before they bring it to overtime.
Yeah, and Jerk going to be using that run it back, taken down immediately. Not going to be opting, perhaps, to re-peek that short angle coming in after Wardell just ended their run it back quick and easy. As we can see here, it looks like the force going to be trying to come in from TSM. They're going to be leaning in to that short, at least for the time being. They're going to back it off and reevaluate their options.
Galavant opting again outside of Garage, but they're not going to peek him. They're going to forego him, so it's up to him whether he wants to get a bit ballsy and push out those doors, but I don't think he's going to want to do that, considering the way he's been playing. Might be a bit scared, which is not something you really want of a Jet player, but it might be fair just to keep himself alive for just a tiny bit longer. Another B hit likely to come in. Smokes on the extremities, and Wardell watching for that flank. So aware. He's so good. And he's got that first kill. And Spike already planted. Now this is looking kind of rough because the guns for the side of O2 somehow not the best. Looks like the Sage still has a Bulldog at her disposal. And that's the only gun. But Finn shot through the wall. That's a nice one on Subroza. And now looking a bit more doable at least.
Yeah, Wardell feeling a little bit of this pressure as they missed that first.
Oh no!
And Cutler from behind hitting them with that automatic fire. It does get cleaned up by Finn though. The orbital strike comes in. Hazed takes down DSK, and now it's a 3v1 scenario. Wardell going over the wall with the shorty, lands it, and that's going to put the final nail in the coffin here in this game between O2 and TSM. Enemy Team Solo Mid taking it 13 points easy.
Yeah, that's it. Actually, just Wardell bad mattering the other team, but I mean, he's 24-12. I guess he deserves to do it. Jerk trying his best, following up with 14-16.